Similarity 3. So for this problem, we have two sentences. Let's directly use the example. So we have a sentence 1 and sentence 2. So my name is Haley and my Haley. So it means we can insert names just in between my and Haley. So my name is Haley. So the sentence 2 can be made by inserting names, and then the sentence 2 gonna become sentence 1. Yeah, so this is the idea. And for the second example, because the of is just in between, and we cannot insert anything. So for example, we want to insert thing to let it become sentence 2, but it's not possible because we can only, maybe insert it at the left side. We insert a, so it's gonna be a of. It's not possible. Maybe we insert a lot, it's gonna be a lot of, but there's words. Or maybe we insert words at the right side, it's gonna be of words, but it's not possible. So it's gonna be false. And the third example is just eating. So we can insert right now at the right side of eating. So it's gonna be eating right now. So it's gonna be okay. So how can we solve this problem easily? Yeah, I mean, first of all, we don't know whether sentence 1 is longer or sentence 2 is longer. But definitely, if a sentence is longer, another sentence is shorter. Yeah, and we want the sentence 2, so this is S2, become sentence 1. So this is S1. So definitely, for the shorter sentence in between, we need to insert some sentence. Yeah, insert some word, and then this shorter one gonna become the longer one. Yeah, so this is the basic idea. So now, let's just guess. If this S1 is the shorter one, but S1 is longer, but S2 is shorter. Yeah, S1 is still longer and S2 is shorter. But is that possible? We just want to insert something between S1, let it become S2. That is not possible because S1 is more than and equal to S2. If we insert the word, definitely the length of the S1 going to be more than S2. It means not possible. Yeah, because S2 is less than and equal to S1. Now we insert something, it can become equal. So this is the basic idea. Yeah. So if you understand the basic idea, so the next step is we're gonna define S1 gonna be the longer one and S2 gonna be the shorter one. Yeah. So what's gonna be the next step? Yeah, let me just let me just remove these areas. Yeah, so this is gonna be S2, and this is gonna be S1. And the idea is that we can use two pointers. Actually, it's gonna be 4 pointers. So this is 2 pointers we pointed to S1, the start and the end. And for S2, we're gonna prepare another 2 pointers, the start and end. So this is maybe let me use S and E, S1 and E1. So this is gonna be S2 and E2. Yeah. So we're gonna compare one by one. So if S1, so this is S1. If S1 equals to S2, we're gonna move to the next. And yeah, let me make a better drawing maybe. Yeah, let me just use the 2 pointers maybe. If I only use the 2 pointers, I can make a better drawing. Yeah, let me just remove these areas, remove the pointers. Yeah. So the idea is that we're going to compare the 2 pointers here with here. If they are equal, I'm going to move to the next. And I'm going to compare the right side simultaneously. If they are equal, I'm going to move to the next. Until if this one is equal, yeah, I'm going to first compare the left side. If this one is equal, so this pointer is going to move to the next. So this is going to be L, and this is going to be R. So the L is going to be more than R, so I'm going to stop the loop. This means it is possible. Yeah, but what if while I'm comparing the 2 words, maybe this is not possible. Yeah, but if the right side is possible, I can still compare. Or maybe the left side is possible, but the right side is not possible. But I can still compare at the left side. Yeah, so this is why we can always compare. But if the left side is not equal and the right side is not equal, yeah, definitely this means I'm gonna need to return false because it's not possible. So this is just the idea. So this is the two pointers. So this is L1 and R1, and this one gonna be L2 and R2. So I'm gonna first compare the left side L1 with L2. If they are equal, I'm gonna move to the next. And then I'm gonna compare the right side. If R1 equal to R2, I'm gonna move to the next. If they are always equal, I'm gonna return true. If from some place as L1 not equal to L2 and R1 not equal to R2, definitely I'm gonna return false, because from the left side and the right side I cannot find even one word that is equal. Yeah, it means that is not possible. So why I gonna compare equal? So if they are equal, definitely this means I can yeah, let me just use maybe on this example. Yeah, maybe I gonna use this example. So this is the left side. Yeah, so if they are equal, definitely this means this word equal to this word. I can move to the next. Yeah, and then from here, this means right now this area is gonna be the insertion for the sentence 2. Yeah, because if I equal, I just remove the left behind from the left and the right. So what in between is just the sentence I need to insert for sentence 2. Yeah, I hope we understand it. Now, if we understand this kind of idea, the coding is going to be much easier. So for the sentence 1, I want to turn it into an array because this is easier to compare. And I'm going to split it with an empty string because all the sentences are going to be separated by an empty space. So I'm going to use a space to split it. And similarly for sentence 2. So for the sentence 2, I just need to split it with empty space. After that, I need to check the length of the sentence 1 and the sentence 2. So if the length of sentence 1 is shorter than the length of the sentence 2. Yeah, I'm not sure if you are familiar with this kind of idea. So there are a lot of Leetcode questions we need to compare the length first. Yeah, we have to define the length first, otherwise there's going to be a lot of checking. So if sentence 1 is shorter, this means I need to change it. Yeah, because I always want sentence 1 to be longer. So it's going to be the sentence 2 and sentence 1. Now, I can just compare with the two sentences. Actually, it is array already. So I'm going to prepare two pointers L1, R1, going to be equal to 0 and length of the sentence 1 and minus 1. And similarly, L2 and R2 going to be 0, length of the sentence 2 and minus 1. Now I can compare the shorter one, so while L2 less than the R2. So I don't need to compare the longer one, I just need to compare the shorter one for the while loop. Yeah, because if this is longer, this is shorter, I just need to compare these areas, because after finishing all those areas, maybe this is cut from the left side and this areas will cut from the right side, and in between is where I need to insert. Yeah, but this L should always less than this R, but for this one, it has already, the L should already more than R, it means it go out of the loop. Yeah, this is why we're gonna use the shorter one to control it. We don't need to use the longer one. So if it is shorter, so we can use an if tag. Yeah. So if sentence 1 L1 equal to sentence 2 L2. So if they are equal, I'm gonna update L1 and L2. So L2 gonna plus equal to 1. Now I'm gonna similarly have another tag. Maybe let me just even I copy it. Yeah, I don't need to copy it. So while sentence 2, it's gonna be R2 equal to the sentence 2. Yeah, here gonna be R1 because sentence 2. And this gonna be sentence 1. Sentence 1 gonna be R1 and the sentence 2 gonna be R2. Yeah. So while they are equal, so for the R1 gonna be minus equal to 1 and R2 gonna be minus equal to 1. So if it is not possible, definitely I'm gonna, if Yeah, so if everything is okay and I can go out of the while loop, definitely I can return a true. But what happens? So when should I return a false? I need to check that. Yeah. So from here, I cannot return a false directly, but I can use a flag. So I'm gonna prepare a flag. The flag is gonna be false. Let me set it false. Yeah. So for either settings 1 or settings 2, yeah, from the left side and the right side. So this is the left side. If the left side is equal, I'm gonna set the flag to be true. And also here, maybe the right side can also be equal. I can set the right side. I can set the flag to true. Yeah. So if I cannot get a flag, so if not flag, so I gonna return a false. Yeah. So this means while I'm checking, if everything's okay for each of the time, if either the left side is a true or the right side is a true, it's okay for me. Finally, I'm gonna return a true. But from some point, let me just use the drawing maybe. Yeah. So this is a longer one. This is a shorter one. But from some point, maybe this point, from the left side, they are not equal, and from the right side, they are not equal. So definitely we cannot do it, because if we were to insert something in between, it means we have to cut these areas. It's the same idea like we cut the longer one. If we want to insert the shorter one, we always want to cut the longer one. Yeah, so this means these areas will be the insertion. Yeah, but I cannot finish cutting all areas because there is still one point, one number that is not equal to the left and not equal to the right. So definitely I need to set the flag to I cannot set the flag to true. The flag is false. So if the flag is still false, so I can return false directly. Otherwise, I'm gonna wait until I'm gonna return true. So this is the idea. Now let me just run it to check. As you can see, it works. Now let me just submit it. Yeah, as you can see, it works. And I think the speed is okay because basically this is a just a on time complexity, and n is dependent on the length of the settings, I think. Or maybe there are brute force ones, but I didn't think the brute force is a good idea to solve such problem. Even though I think the settings is just 100, maybe you can use brute force. But I think the two pointers is better. We just need to prepare two settings, and we can compare the left side and the right side, and the time complexity is just on. So yeah, I don't even think about the brute force. Maybe you can think about maybe there is a brute force, but I think the on is better. And thank you for watching. See you next time.